Hello everyone, I am Mark Dorsey, CSI's Chief Executive Officer, and welcome to the CSI Studio. I'm here with Lakisha Woods, the CEO of the National Institute of Building Sciences. Lakisha, welcome. Please tell us a little about you.
Sure. Hello, I am Lakisha Woods, as he said, President and CEO of the National Institute of Building Sciences. Our organization was founded by Congress actually in 1974, and our whole purpose is to convene the industry, to break down the silos, to look at challenges that face the entire built environment and how to find solutions. So we focus heavily on research and data. I've spent my whole career representing associations in the construction industry, from the National Ready Mix Concrete Association to AGC of America to National Association of Home Builders. So I really dig construction. It's been great, and look forward to all that we can continue to do to advance the industry.
So thank you so much for being here, and thanks for being on stage earlier with Curtis Mooney, and we had this great conversation about diversity, equity, and inclusion. But I'd like to talk a little bit more about NIBS and the relationship we have in terms of what you see before us in the industry, maybe elements of the Looking Forward report.
Sure. Well, I think it's what's important about what we talked about within our annual report, which, as you know, the annual report is sent to the President of the United States. That's a part of our charge as well. And so we want to make sure we're providing a list of recommendations that are really important to the entire building industry. And those three topic areas that keep our industry up at night, according to all the CEOs in the various building-related associations, is workforce, technology, and resilience. And so we have spent a great deal of time talking about workforce. That is the #1 issue. The workforce shortages are real and current and are going to continue to grow. And so we need to definitely address diversity, from everything from racial diversity, gender diversity, et cetera, because the numbers are so dramatic, and with 10%, 10.6% to be exact, of the industry being female, but women are 47% of the workforce, we need to tap into that market if we plan to solve our workforce shortages.
You know, it's been a real pleasure, and I appreciate the opportunity from a CSI standpoint to be part of and lead that group of CEOs that are convening on these topics. I mean, NIBS has created a really intriguing forum, and just building off our conversation this morning, we talked about the importance of leadership recognizing and bringing awareness to these issues around diversity and equity and inclusion. So maybe talk for a little bit about the kinds of actions that you're seeing in the industry that have actually begun to create awareness or advance initiatives that better us both socially and economically.
Well, I'm so glad you asked that question, because one of the things that are fantastic about you taking over as the chair for the Consultative Council this past year are the initiatives that we were able to address, especially as it relates to social equity in the workforce. And so when we all work together as a council to bring the industry together, to have those roundtables that focused on what are the challenges, doing the survey work that came out of those meetings, and then meeting together to talk about the solutions, more than just a statement, but what action are we going to take to address leadership and diversifying the leadership, not only of our organizations, our staff, but our volunteer leadership, and also encouraging our members to diversify their leadership within their respective companies and industries. That's how we're going to see actionable change, and that all came within this past year in your leadership in the council. So it's been really exciting, and a lot of people want to hear about it. A lot of media, what are you doing? What happened with the survey, and what's next? Because you can't just do the survey. The follow-up question is always, what's next?
Well, you know what I love about you talking about action is, action in this case can't be accidental action. It has to be intentional. And if we're not willing to raise these issues of leaders, and as a diverse group of leaders, from the standpoint of our responsibility is to talk about these issues so that we can facilitate change, and change that's uncomfortable, difficult, and not going to happen overnight. But as we were talking about with Curtis, has real advantages. The dialogue, for example, that we see going on in firms or within organizations, and it can't happen just at the grassroots level. If it's not happening at the highest levels, what's the point?
Absolutely. And it was interesting, after the session this morning, I had tons of follow-up questions from your members that are here in attendance. And so clearly the topic was timely. A lot of people either saying, wow, I didn't actually think about when I asked this university to send me candidates, I never thought to say, send me diverse candidates.
Right.
And I want to make that change. And so those aha moments, that's what this is all about.
Yeah.
Having that conversation. Or others who are just saying, yes, I took away some notes that we're going to take back to our company to implement. And so that's wonderful that the people here are ready for the conversation and want to see change.
Lakisha, thank you very much for your time. And thanks to all of you out there for joining me. I'm Mark Dorsey, CSI Chief Executive Officer, and you've been with us in the CSI Studio.